Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter for you all, and that will be chapter number 2 from civics for class 8, and the name of the chapter is land, soil and water. This chapter will be divided into 3 parts, and today we are going to start with the first part, that is land resources. As you all student as you all must be knowing that land is associated with lithosphere. So land resource refers to the shape, form and nature of the land surface. Land provides shelter to both the living organism and non-living organism. The land sources of the earth contains lofty mountains, flat plains, high plateaus, island, etc. It covers the 30% of the total area of the earth's surface. As you can see in this module that there are certain things that were made by human beings for utilization of the land resources, like constructions of houses, constructions of factories and the natural valleys are also shown over here. Next in this module, we are going to study about the habitational land areas. Habitation means the areas where the people usually live, and these are categorized into two parts. First is the less habitational land areas and second is highly habitational land areas. So less habitational land areas will be associated with the mountains, steep slopes, rugged terrains, extreme hot and cold climatical conditions, waterlogged areas and thick forest areas. As you can see in this module, the islands and the glacier areas which are having the extreme colder situation, people would not like to stay over there or be over there for survival of their life. And as you can see, the thick forest areas are also not safe for the human beings to live. So these are the less habitational areas. And next we are moving towards the highly habitational land areas. These are considered with the river valleys, plains, with the fertile soil, grasslands, etc. As you all must be knowing from the ancient time, water is the basic necessity of human life, and all the ancient civilizations usually recited and started flourishing from the riverine areas, whether that is of Nile River or Egyptian river civilization and so on. So these are the two categorization of the habitational land areas. First is less and second is highly habitational areas. In this module we also have a content that is land use. So you must be wondering what is land use. So as the name associated, land means the place and the use means the utilization of those lands. So different types of agriculture activities, forestries, mining, building houses, etc. are performed on the land surfaces. These are collectively called as the land uses. Yani anything that we are making on the land, whether that is in personal house or schools or hospitals, roads, constructions, public transportations, roads, everything which is constructed on the land surface will be considered collectively known as the land use. It refers to the land under the plug, that means of agriculture land, grazing of animals, the area which are utilized by the animals to graze in the grassland areas, land uses for constructions of roads, buildings, minings, manufacturings, waterland and the lands under the forest area. So all this combinedly known as the land use, as its name suggested. Next in this module, we are going to study about the types of lands. So basically here we are categorizing the lands on the basis of two types. First is the private land and second is the community land. So private land, as its name suggested, private, that means personal. So it is owned by individual people. This type of land is used for the personal purposes, like the land for building houses or factories. As you can see in this module, the people who made their homes, their factories for their personal use, that will be utilized by them only, not by the society, is considered the private land which is owned by individual. Next is community land. It is owned by the community for some particular purposes like collection of fruit, grains, nuts, water, vegetable, medical herbs, etc. The functions that are performed by the human beings collectively for the welfare of the society and production of the commodities for the society will be considered as community land, in which the agriculture land, the temples we visit, the gardens we move, These all are considered as community land for which we are working to facilitate our community. In this module, we also have the term that is land use pattern. So in this module, you can see we have a pie chart diagram over here, and it is divided into certain percentage of area with associated with different colors. So you can see over here there is certain portion which is associated with the agricultural land and building up lands and forest areas and so on. So the land use pattern, what is it basically is, it is used to indicate the different types of lands and different uses of land basically, like in agriculture, pasture, forest and other uses like building, houses and factories, etc. Australia is a country which utilizes 54% of its land under the pastures because they have more of the grasslands and they have more of the dairy farms and dairy products are more over there. So they use, there is 56% of the land surfaces for the pastures only, whereas in India it is an agriculture based industry where you can see almost 45% of the land comes under the crop or the agricultural land. So in this pie chart you can see 42.29% of the land is covered with the agricultural land, then 33.41 for the building of lands because India has immense amount of population. So for living those people we need houses, and that is why the next major portion of the land is utilized for the constructions of houses. Then we have the forest land, grasslands, grazing lands, wastelands and water bodies and other are also utilized. So this is completely showing the land use pattern of a country, and this will be associated that the India is an agricultural land because almost 45% land is utilized for agriculture purposes. Now in this chain, we are going to discuss about the factor which affect the land use pattern of particular areas, and on those consideration, we are going to study about particular six factors that affect the land use pattern. And first of that will be the climate. Climate of the polar and equatorial region is very harsh, so it is not suitable for the cropland and for the pastures. While the mild climate conditions support the pastures and agriculture activities, as you can see in this module, the places near to the Antarctica, the polar areas is quite extreme cold, so no people would stay over there and no agricultural activities could be performed out there. And the equatorial zone, these are quite hot, so the people would not like to stay over there as well. So the mild climate conditions are supporting for the pasture and agriculture activities, and people usually prefer to live on those areas. World's 90% population is living in the plain areas or the temperate zone of the earth on both the side, the northern and southern hemispheres. Then next we are moving towards the topography. Topography is basically the plain region provides suitable conditions for the agriculture activities and pasture. If we have slopes, steep slopes, mountainous areas, so those will be not suitable for the growing of agriculture commodities. So the plain flat region areas will be more suitable because whatever kind of machinery we would like to use, we can use it effectively, and it will be executed easily. So the topography means the plain region and the agricultural activities will be more over there. Next is the type of soil. So well fertile soil is drained from the river is appropriate as compared to the desert soil. As we all know that we are living in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is having a deserting area. So the soil sand that you have seen in deserting area is quite free flow. It is not having any kind of moisture. So these kind of soils will not useful for the plantation to grow. We need fertile alluvial soil which is brought by the rivers along with their water. Those are most fertile soil for the growing of agriculture commodities. Next is availability of water. Of course, human beings, plants, animal, everything needs the water, and from the ancient time the civilization itself built over the areas where the water is available. So all the types of forests, weather crops, pastures and everyone need plenty of water to survive. So the availability of water is also an important factor for the people to live on those particular areas. Next is the mineral. A region having mineral deposits are used for mining purposes and industries set up over there if we have immense availability of the minerals. So the industries which are associated in extraction of the minerals from the earth surface or for manufacturing of the commodities constructed by those minerals will be associated over there. Minerals would be in the form of iron, copper, nickel, gold, platinum, diamonds. So these all are the kind of minerals that are available from the mining areas, and these will be the areas suitable for mining activities only if the minerals are available. Then next is technology and human resources. Human resources along with the use of the technology convert the raw material into the finished product, so it is also required. Like you can see in this picture, this is a machine of combine which is used by the farmers for extracting of grains from the farmland. Earlier it was done by the people by hands manually, but now these are the machines and they can do the entire task which took place by 20 to 50 days from the farmers. It can done that work by 2 or 3 days only. So it is a machinery which will utilized by the agriculture industries for making the things go smooth. And next picture you can see, it is a machine which used to spread the pesticides over the farmland areas, because we have larger farmlands areas, and if this work is also done by the manual power, it will take long times. So these are the kind of machinery, and these could also be utilized where the plain land surface is available. Here next we are going to discuss about the usefulness of the land resources. Uses of the land resources, as you all must be knowing. First, they provide the rich farming products. As you can see in this module, the people are engaging doing agricultural activities and farming activities over there. They provide the timber and other products such as gum, medicine, herbs, etc. These are the things which is availed by us from the foresting areas, from forest, and they are the storehouses of the mineral deposits. You can see the beautiful rainbow mineral mines situated in our world. So these are the mineral resources deposits. They provide the land for the personal and professional uses. You can see the people constructed houses, and these are also utilized for making of their factories and other utilizations as well. They provide lofty mountains, high hills, plateaus, plains, rivers, ponds, oceans, and the last, these places are used for tourist destinations as well. If we have the natural sceneries, people usually came over there to visit, to get relaxed, and this also generate funding for the government, and these are also the destination which will be loved by the tourist people to visit on. The last topic of this module will be the conservation of the land resources. So before knowing about the conservation of land resources, we must know what is conservation. The conservation of land resources refers to the careful use and a proper management of those resources so that they may continue be used. The following measures could be adopted to conserve the land resources. First of all is the degradation rate of the land should be checked. Degradation means, you see children, plant have the roots, and those roots actually bind the soil. If we keep on cutting the trees, that binding on the roots were run off by the water, and the fertile layer of the soil will run off with the water. So we need to stop these kind of degradation by not cutting the trees. More and more trees should be grown. So if we grow more tree, it will start binding the fertility of the land, and the land would not get barren. Third conservation point will be the overgrazing should be controlled. Animals that these cows you can see in this module grazing the farmlands, and this also reduce the fertility of the land, and after some time these land became or converted into the barren land, which will not be utilized for production of any of the commodities. Next is the use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers should be regulated. We should not use the chemical pesticides which is harmful for the body, and if we keep on utilizing these pesticides, this also reduce the fertility of the soil, and if the land converted into the barren land, they will not be utilized by the agricultural activities at all. And the last is the use of biofertilization. Biofertilizers should be encouraged. Yani the manure by the animals, these are the also good source of biofertilizers. So we should use these biofertilizers so that it will increase the fertility of the land, and can provide us more and more of the commodities. And this is the way we can conserve our land resources. I am done with my module. Take care. Bye bye.